Thank you so much for joining us for our open mic this evening right here at Straight to Ale. Please give it up for Straight to Ale for allowing us to thank your lovely bartender, and please tip your lovely bartender when you make your way up to that line. We're very, very excited and grateful for them for hosting us and allowing us to be here. We got lots of great things to go over tonight. But first I wanted to kick things off. If you are a person in the poetry community, which, hey, you are. Many of you may have heard of poet Andrea Gibson, who passed away earlier this week. And so what I wanted to do to memorialize that poet, if you've ever been served a button poetry video in your algorithm, you've probably seen their work. Hugely influential poet, particularly in the spoken word scene, and they had a huge impact on, I know me personally, and I know a lot of us in this room, so I wanted to kick off the night with sharing one of their poems. In the chemo room, I wear mittens made of ice so I don't lose my fingernails, but I took a risk today to write this down. Whenever I spend the day crying, my friends tell me I look high. Good grief. They finally understand me. Even when the arena is empty, I thank God for the shots I miss. If you ever catch me only thanking God for the shots I make, remind me I'm not thanking God. Remind me all my prayers were answered the moment I started praying for what I already have. Jenny says when people ask if she's out of the woods, she tells them she'll never be out of the woods. She says, there is something lovely about the woods. I know how to build a shelter for survival from fallen tree branches, packed mud, and pulled moss. I could survive forever on death alone. Wasn't it death that taught me to stop measuring my lifespan by length, but by width? Do you know how many beautiful things can be seen in a single second? How you can blow up a second like a balloon and fit infinity inside of it. I am infinite. I know, but I still have a measly wrinkle collection compared to my end goal. I would love to be a before picture, I think, as I look in the mirror and mistake my head for the moon. My dark thoughts are almost always 238,856 miles away from me believing them. I love this life, I whisper into my doctor's stethoscope so she can hear my heart. My heart, an heirloom I didn't inherit until I thought I could die. Why did I go so long believing I owed the world my disappointment? Why did I want to take the world by storm when I could have taken it by sunshine, by rose water, by the cactus flowers on the side of the road where I broke down? I'm not about to waste more time spinning stories about how much time I'm owed, but there is a man who is usually here who isn't today. I don't know if he's still alive. I just know his wife was made of so much hope. She looked like a firework above his chair. Will the afterlife be harder if I remember the people I love or forget them? Either way, please, let me remember. Poetry community, and I very much encourage you to go buy some of their books. There's so many of them out there in the world, and they're all just equally as good, if not better than that poem, and you can read them all at once when you're home and probably cry, because that's what happens when you read a lot of poems at once. I know. It do be like that sometimes. Okay, I know I'm looking at my phone a lot, but it's for important things, like that poem, and also for this. You know that tonight is, it's a free show. We're a nonprofit. We take donations, right? That's the vibe of it all. Tonight, we are taking donations for a specific organization called TKO Society. Please give it up for TKO Society. They are a fantastic organization. We have Josh Baker here representing. Give it up for Josh Baker. So, if you don't know about TKO, the Knights and Orchid Society, TKO, was founded in 2012. In 2017, TKO became the first and only AIDS service organization and STD/STI clinic in the state of Alabama, founded and led by Black, trans, and LGBTQ people. Give it up for that. They are community people serving the communities that they represent. Their goal is to help more Black, trans, same-gender loving, and Black queer folks across access to high-quality primary care and endocrinology services. The Knights and Orchid Society envisions a future where transgender, queer, bisexual, lesbian, and gay Black people are empowered to live full and healthy lives free from harm. Our mission is to build the power of LGBTQ+ Black people across the South by providing a spectrum of health and wellness services, which you'll hear more and more about tonight from the amazing Josh Baker. We also have flyers over here by the merch cart. If you are interested in learning more about the organization, you can take one of those flyers. The cool thing about your donations tonight is that we are also matching your donations up to $300. So if you put a lot of money into this bucket that has some sort of waterfowl on it, could be a geese, could be a swan, could be something in between. I've never really known. It's not clear. It's from my parents' house from the 80s. You can put money in there, and then we will match the money that is in there and send it to this organization doing wonderful things right here in the South. So during these times, which are so unprecedented that they may be becoming precedented, who's to say? All we can do is work in our communities and give back to each other and spread love where we can and have an impact where we can. So have an impact where you can here tonight. That was a lot. I'm not going to look at my phone at least for another 15 to 20 minutes based on the addiction that I have to it being in my hand at any given time. A couple of other things to go over. We have a time limit. It's unfortunate, but there are literally so many of you that wanted to read tonight. So we have to be very strict with our time limit because our open mic list is full. So open mic readers up here get 3 minutes. When you hit 3 minutes, you will hear a sound. Borka, what's the sound?
Time, I think.
What?
It'll be my watch. I'll shout.
I'm sorry, what?
I said time.
We used to have a clap. Borka. Thank you. I used to be able to make fun of Borka for having a weak clap, and now I have to make fun of you for having no clap at all?
Yeah.
This is brutal. Okay, so Borka's going to do that at 3 minutes, and then you're going to get a 10-second little grace period where you can wrap up your last sentence, and then we're going to probably just slow clap you off the stage. So just respect that, and then you can come back next month and finish where you left off, because we would love to have you back. But it's really, we have this space until 8 o'clock, so we want to make sure that we move the night along, and everybody gets equal opportunity on the mic. If you are going to do a poem that is difficult or super sexy, steamy hot, that's totally awesome and really gets the crowd going. But also, this is an all-ages show, so please give just a little warning before you launch into any poems that are particularly difficult or horny. Cool. What else am I forgetting? The sign. Like Borka. Borka forgot the sign. I hope you like this. It looks like a memorial for someone, but really it's just that Borka didn't remind Grace to bring the sign. It was a collective sign failure on the part of Out Loud. As the president, I am deeply sorry, and it will never happen again. Please take a sincere apology. Internet, I'm so sorry. Okay, are you guys ready to start your open mic? Good. I am too. Welcome your first reader, William.
Hello. I'm William, and tonight I will be reading Gratitude for you all.
Okay.
What hateful thing is done that he should be as such? The flagellant is tough, but can this be enough? Chains that bind and rip and bleed. Wounds cut deeper than wounds, pain deeper than hurt. In silence he must. Flesh of soul, heart of life, till gristle just remains. For sin of person, past and before. Love would be naught, but red and rust. Shines she like a signal star, landeth on her brow, glisten with beauty, a standard she would show, reaching out to grasp and link and make the world undone, a tower by the sea. Love burns the mold away and skeleton to stay. Born anew, he never knew that he could be this way. Grace, her harshest curse, his heart she could forgive. Treasure life and be.
What a way to kick us off. To treasure life and be. That's what we're out here doing. Okay, this next reader, the name perhaps could be the trigger warning. Who's to say? We're all going to find out right now with Madam Kingster.
Hello, that was All right. Hello, I'm Madam
Just when I told myself to let go of the delusion, the fantasy of us, of something that might never fully bloom in its lifetime, you pull me back in, again. And not with sweet nothings like you're beautiful or you're cute. No. You feed me in a way that runs deeper, beyond flesh, beyond flattery. You speak to my soul, because I crave connection that exists beneath the surface. I crave the truth of you, the storm and the stillness, the way our energy wraps around each other like a vow. Even when we fall silent, even when the world pulls us in two different directions, we always find our way back, testing each other, pushing and pulling, but never breaking. Maybe we won't get to connect as close as we want in this life. Maybe this lifetime is just another test, a reminder. But I know, in every life, we choose each other. And I see it now. You ask the gods why your spirit feels unsettled. It's because you're not home. You're not yet. Repeat. It's because you're not home. Not yet. Not until you're kneeling by my side, right where you belong. Thank you so much. And by the way, I do have some zines back there. If you don't know what that is, it's like little self-published books. So, yeah.
And trigger warning for just love, just longing. Very sweet. I liked it a lot. Zines are dope. If you've never seen a zine, you should do that tonight. Make it happen. How much are your zines?
Oh, it's free.
For free! For $0 The dollars are so simple. So head on over and grab a zine if you can. Welcome up your next reader, Jason.
Hello. Joy is my symbiotic partner. I can feel where its teeth pierce my heart, how it purrs in my rib cage when I feed it. Nestled in the dark of my chest, more intimate than any lover could dream, we perform a simple alchemy. Lead to gold, misery to mirth. My people have been doing this for centuries. I remember when my grandfather cracked his sternum for me in his living room to show me how the process works. The final lesson was when he told us he didn't want a funeral. He knew if he had one, he'd be late. And I just want to do one more quick one that's been bugging me for 2 months. I'm unconvinced the moment we met ever ended. And I've written this poem more times than I can count. I'm no longer certain it's about you. But in every one, we're dancing. Or I'm watching you dance. And I could do that forever. Wearing crop circles into the hardwood. Becoming something archaeological with you. And in this one, I am here. Chisel and brush and little hammer in hand. Diligently uncovering a collarbone. An outstretched arm. A moment transfixed and preserved, the sediment has failed to fossilize my heart, but I know how to put it. How it beats tremendous, pounding most when you glance my way and grin, a crescent moon amidst the crowd. I stand there even now.
Crop circles in the hardwood. That's a banger of a poem. I'm glad you wrestled that thing down after 2 months. Thanks for sharing it with us. So you're with 3 people in, you're getting the vibe of it. You're getting the feel. I forgot to say some stuff while I was up here the first time, and I've just, been trying to figure out how to transition into it. And there's really no way other than to just own up to it. As I forgot to sign personally, and only me, I also forgot to remind you that this is being live streamed. And if you are shy and do not want to be live streamed, you can let us know, and we'll move you to the bottom of the list, and then we will stop recording before you read. So that is an option for you if you're a person who's like, I want to read, but I don't want to be on the internet, because that's a scary place. You can let us know, and we'll work that out for you. Okay, so let us know. And now I think I've said all the things. It's possible I forgot more, but luckily for you, you're going to hear from me at least 15 to 18 more times tonight. Thank you, Eileen, for your baby claps. More baby claps. Okay, please welcome up your next reader, Rain.
Hey y'all. How you doing? So my family went to see Superman yesterday, and now you get this. It's called Kryptonite. When he saves the day, does he ever fly a victory lap for the cameras dotting the grass below like dozens of black eyes? Does he hesitate over brick and mortar crumbs of buildings, streets split open like hungry mouths, the mangled body of his metropolis? When he comes home, does he slip his red cape off his shoulders, scrub hands at the back of his aching neck, stretch and feel vertebrae clicking one by one? Is Lois there? Does tension ebb from her clenched jaw? Does she see cuts, scrapes, bruises with the same argument they always have stuck in her throat? Does she pick up a first aid kit he doesn't need? Instead of conversation about his bulletproof body, his human and fallible mind, the imaginary day he loses. And will Metropolis miss him? He wonders at night when Lois is sleeping. Would they bury him in that damned suit? Does he dodge her worries like monsters or laser beams? Do they bump hips and elbows when they make dinner? Does he try to make her smile? Spin his Eurythmics CD in the dusty player he keeps insisting upon keeping. Hold her in a gentle sway, a few inches above the kitchen floor. Think, sweet dreams are made of this.
Thank you so much, Wayne. That was wonderful. And if you too would like to be a superhero locally tonight, you can donate to the TKO Society with this cute little bucket that's got Jesus or something on it. Did you like that transition? I worked really, really hard on it. Please welcome up your next reader. I know you're counting it down. You're like 17 more times, 16 more times. It's okay. Some people have to see me every day. That's a good deal. Okay, welcome up your next reader, Susan.
Hi, everybody. And thank you. Writing for anyone who wishes. We wake with a deeper breath like atoms from God. This is the beginning. The steps to reach creation are intricate, delicate, but the shards will hold the risk imagined. Willingly, I fear to be still, but still will I be, gladly giving my rib to get to the heart. I stop. I sit. I breathe, hold space and time, while at the ear doubt watches, and my hand moves anyway. Death and estimate. 100,000 construction workers. 3.6%, or 3,600 of these 100,000, can expect to die on the job. 1,300, or 1.3%, of 100,000 active duty soldiers may also die, to all meaning some days many more, others less. We hope and pray, but a black woman giving birth chances death 49.5%, or in averaging by law, 50,000 women from 100,000 sisters will die giving birth, sometimes more or less. This is not a poem.
Yeah.
Give us rest. Light, a desired state, a summit, a revelation. Light as less of, a weight, a better body, a peaceful mind. Lighter. Light is 33% less, but today and now and at once, and revealed and breathed as by the tick of my heart, without times before and eons to come, light streams from your faces, through the leaves and running limbs, high on the black and brown, piercing through the evil deed in notes of voice and string, in the bending basket, weave and curls and eyes and laugh. Light foretells, shows the tears on cheek and directs me to kiss there. Light needs us, not just to see, but to follow. Then run on when it's on another side. Just now, light ripples the lake like a million electric fireflies in this broad day.
If you love Susan's work and would like an opportunity to learn from Susan, there is murmurings of a very cool members-only workshop that's going to be happening soon. So, if you want to become a member to Out Loud Huntsville, it is just $25 simple dollars, the most uncomplicated dollars that you've ever experienced. And you get access to members-only workshops and events, a members-only Discord. You get a cool shirt like this one that's hanging behind me. That's definitely there for display for this reason and not because we forgot to sign. I redact my apology. It was for this moment. This is very intentional. That's why it's there. And it's just a really great time to be a member. It's a great way to give back to this community. If you want to become a member and you are not a member currently, you can sign up with us here tonight, or you can do so at our website, which is outloudhsv.com. And there's also places to donate there as well if you just want to give back a little bit extra. But if you have it in cash, tonight's the night to do it. Into the bucket with the geese on it. Bills in the thing with the birds with bills on them. That's where you want to put them. That was a connection. I did it. And then you will be giving back to TKO Society ×2. So consider that if you've got cash on you this evening. And if you don't, you can also donate through their website, tkosociety.org/donate. Which is correct, because I looked that up on my phone that I said I wasn't going to pick up, but I did again. Please welcome up your next reader, Matt.
I've been writing these poems. I've been writing these poems to preserve my sanity. Same questions have been plaguing me for damn near half a century. I've been writing these poems because the world weighs me down. I write to strip away ego and to heal my own history. The older I get, I find that I write to explore the derivatives of diversion and diversity, including the concept of inclusion. I write these poems of extortion, of democracy, mourning the illusion as it becomes a fallacy. I write for all the black hoodies, at the same time scribbling out loud against the hate of fags and rainbow flags, while trying to make sense of the world around me. The news keeps showing me ugliness. The numerous doomsday prophecies keep coming true. I keep writing on white paper lined with red and blue. But when I look away, the lines get thinner, causing a greater divide. So I write in solidarity with every colleague that is mine. I write. I fight for every skin shade, both darker and lighter than mine. These poems are my antibiotic. Maybe I need to up the dosage. Because I need the words to be more cathartic. So I write in jet stream smoke after witnessing sickening travesties that make me choke. I write out of love-fueled anger. Crayons like vultures circling out the hate of flooded details, smashing their heads against the gates for the greater good. Things that shouldn't be up for debate. I write to elevate every hungry man, every thirsty woman, and begging child. My pen stays busy, speaking out to protect the voiceless, exploited and wild. I write for some infant life. I write for 9/11 responders who can't catch their breath. But sometimes the words on the page get away from me. Sometimes the lines get away from me. My vision blurs and I just can't see anything beyond my poetry. I write because I can wield this pen quicker than I can lift any sword. I write these poems because I fear justice of truth that's needed for peace will never win an award.
One more time for first time reader of that one. Please come back. We're so good. Please keep coming back. That was wonderful. Welcome up your next reader, Emma Rose.
This is for they. They, so sincere that earth laid down soft moss and rearranged itself to create more space for them. Them, trees smile with their ancient creases, brushing your hair back from your forehead, a gentle kiss that they know you. You, unknown and known, your feet rooting down with every step on the earth that grew in birth. You see the way she smiles, a child hers, so natural in its birth. Only few will try to separate you from her life. Understand that the space that was made for you is yours, a home to yourself that as long as trees breathe, so do they, you, see, understand. Frustration in my fingertips, bleeding childhood, knee scrapes from my bike. That baby has red covering her face and an Instagram post of her last pain lance moments. 2 more iron-weighted reps, just in case I ever have to run with my arms full. Flashes of panicked feet racing, flowers spilt in sand mixed with that young man's blood. Another country full of brown hands poised in prayer to another God. Another reason for the generation I was born into. Hate. Red hats, but I swear they could have been white and pointed towards their own brown. I mean, white God. Jesus, do you fucking see what I mean? Jesus fucking Christ, did you see the man beaten in the streets? Hail does less damage than the ice pelting the warmest states. The world is engulfed in flames, and I can swear, some of you think you are God's chosen 3. Flames won't lick at your feet, Nebuchadnezzar. I mean, Jesus, fuck. I meant to say, Trump, whatever you call him. March for him. Lay down your life for him. Remember, we were groomed to do this. In case Christ ever made his return, he's your David, and maybe he will send you to his front lines while he collects every blood flecked scent from your wives left at home. Pull them up, lace them tight onward. Christian soldiers, here's your holy war, bloody brown babies. A man who just wanted a bag of flour, immigrants who built your roof and picked your corn, your adversaries.
Indeed, that's kind of the vibe as of late. Again, as we talked about earlier, if you're feeling just what to do with your hands during these unprecedented, so often that they become precedented times, you could donate to cool organizations like TKO because it's a great way to give back locally and feel like you're not so helpless in very helpless times. Am I right? We're going to be fine because we have each other. We keep us safe is the motto. Please welcome up your next reader, Johnny.
Bullets in my bread. I know things are hard between us, but I don't lay awake at night bleeding you. I don't even think you hate me, no matter what they want me to believe. We don't have to be sworn enemies. We're born enemies. We are children sitting on our hands, caught in the middle, together, 7,000 miles apart, but the bombs are on your side. I know that it's not your fault, and I know that it's not mine, but I know that it is. Yours and mine and his and hers. We are all capable. We are all capable. War is a flagship characteristic of our species. We make desperate art and fervent music, and we use both to romanticize pain. We create cinema that lets us see ourselves in almost each other. And we create a tunnel to escape. We evolved to love so deeply, but we were born for the fight. To bleed and make bloody. Before the first spearhead was chiseled, we bashed our neighbor's head against rock, and then we celebrated, probably in song. We are white-hot malice wrapped in a brand new self-love and the same bold self-hate, and they are the same thing, and that is self-importance. Somebody get a Buddhist on the phone. I think I'm getting close. So you specifically, and I personally, we're not at war. But some of us are. Some of us always are. Some of us always are. Those at the top always are. The curdled cream rises. In every corner of the planet, in every iteration of civilization, because you cannot be both good and powerful. Power steals the good in a man, so must the good cult the powerful? Someone get 12 guys on the phone. I think I'm getting close. Is it a series of poor choices or just dumb luck that it's not me, molded by nurture and nature into the warmongering crew? Is it an obstacle or a privilege? Like being above ground beneath electric lights, like the free time to write my self-important bullshit because the bombs are on your side. Either way, I'm grateful on all counts. Does that count? Who's counting? When everybody loses and there's a clear winner because the bombs are on your side.
Yeah. It's like 2017. It's been a minute. Thanks for coming back. Thanks for being here. Hey, I used to work here, so I'm gonna do that again for a minute. Did anyone order the barbecue poutine? It's right here at this table. If you want to grab it. The food runner did not know what table number to bring it to because we have too many people in this room, which is a great problem to have. So thank you all for being here and grab that poutine. And if you want barbecue poutine, you do want barbecue poutine. You can order it and get food brought out to you in this lovely room, as well as obviously grab drinks from your fantastic bartender, who you should tip so generously this evening. Please give it up for your bartender. Keep that going for your next reader, Eli Hart.
Alone in the field with two suns, a yellow sky and view to my left. There are more bright stars beyond, lights faded, not quite seen, still felt. A brightly spotted sky for which I long, yet the suns neither rise nor set. Footsteps in the field with two suns, a purple sky in view to my right, days frozen in dusk and dawn, The familiar stranger tries to be quiet. I've seen him before, his name is not known. Try as he may to keep from my sight. Surrounding him, there is a eerie air. I pray he respects my peace in the grass. To adjust to discomfort, I do not dare. I still my breath away with a clasp. My head is suddenly raised to meet his glare. My senses stolen by glaring eyes. He extends toward me a branch of bone, his expression unchanging with no qualm. Up my wrist climbs tendrils of stone and twisted bone. Needle-pointed tips tear through the flesh of palm. My face kept even, I stifle a groan. I mustn't encourage him, I must remain calm. His bones grab mine, bridged through flesh, ripped from my toe time cold. The shadow now wears my face, my skin sutured to fit his mold. He waits in my stead, gone with no trace, into myself I fold. Wind echoes a howl through my frame, the chill aches my marrow. Days have passed, each one the same. Grass blades take me as they grow. Dust to dust become the grain. The face thief will reap what he's sown. I've given my bones back to everything that isn't me. Ants have my teeth stacked into a pile almost neat. Roots snake through bones cracks, yet here I am, awake, struggling to breathe. Moments, minutes, months pass, I've no map to eternity. Yet I do know I'm laying in fertile grass, minute, yet more than I was, aided by seed. Odd, not better, new, no longer my past, defined only by now, forward, finally wholly free. Roots have fastened to what is left, I need to anchor myself before rain comes. All that was reduced to rubble and excrement, now the only foundation for the storm. Being human, I remember how it felt. I plead I'm never returned. A whisper while clouds moan. Rain, not as before, each drop a gentle caress. Much like low tide on shore, the reliable pattern helps to rest. I now include to what's in store when next I come my guess. Two bright suns staring as I bask in solidarity. Eyes closed, head back thrown, arms branching out, growing free. Slowly, steadily, simply breathing, open eyes, I finally see.
About a bucket, it's got some sort of bird around that. I want to bring it around so each of you can see what the bird might be. And when I do that, you could consider maybe putting cash in here, because our next speaker is going to be also talking about TKO Society, because they are in fact representing TKO Society tonight. So please welcome up your next reader. And as that happens, I will be walking around collecting donations if that bit was not clear. I would like money from you if you have it this evening, and I am going to walk through the room because, while this is about TKO, it's also still a little bit about me. Please welcome up Josh Baker.
Hello, how y'all doing?
Great.
Damn, y'all not doing better than that. How y'all doing? So the fun fact is, there are some people who may recognize me, but I've been going for like years, so it's a lot of beautiful new faces in this room. Everybody who knows this knows this. When you come to adjust the mic, you may be adjusting it because you actually are trying to adjust it, but you also just want to look cool. Because a lot of people actually don't know how to adjust the mic, so it's pretty cool to be able to do that, right? First off, I want to say thank you so much to Kimberly Casey and Out Loud Huntsville for this amazing opportunity to talk about the incredible work that TKO is doing. Out Loud Huntsville has been such a vivacious force in the Huntsville community for us to be able to tell our stories and to advocate for ourselves. And so this has been a partnership and a family that has been many years in the making. And so excited to be here. And also want to commend all the amazing talent that's already been on the stage, all the amazing talent that is to come, because how many of you know that there's power in your voice? How many storytellers do I have in the room? By show of hands, how many storytellers? Well, guess what? All of your hands should be up. So let me ask you again, how many storytellers do I have in the room? Every single one, right? That is a big thing that we really want to emphasize in the work that we do at TKO. So if I have not formally introduced myself, and for those who don't know me, my name is Joshua Baker, and I serve as the Community Engagement Director for the Knights and Orchid Society. We are a Black, trans, and queer-led organization serving Black, trans, and queer folk with the intention of empowering our communities. And so storytelling becomes immensely important to this work that we are doing, right? Because there is a specific emphasis, right, on this intersection of Blackness and queerness. So I don't want to get too jargony, right, and too academic, but how many of you have probably heard in passing the term intersectionality? Yeah. Right. And so the interesting thing about intersectionality is we kind of think we know what it is and we talk about it every day, but sometimes we miss like what perhaps is like this intuitive nuance. So when we say intersectionality, sometimes what we're actually referring to is like intersecting identities, right? Which is to say, I possess this social identity, I possess this social identity. But when we go to like the Black feminist origins of intersectionality, right, as an analytical framework, it's not just about the intersections of identity, but it's how those intersections complicate our access to power, right? So now we understand this full circle moment of this emphasis on storytelling, on self-advocacy, and what that does for power. So when we are looking at the experiences of Black, trans, and queer communities, right, of which I am a member, we are talking about not just the consequences of heterosexism, right, the homophobia, the transphobias, but we're also talking about anti-Blackness. So how does this show up in a real world context? Because y'all want to know where your money is going, right? Like, I know I'm pretty, but y'all probably not going to see that, right? You want to know when we are talking about saving the lives of Black, trans, and queer folk, what that looks like. So we're talking about experiences of anti-Blackness in queer communities. We're talking about heterosexism in Black communities, right? So we're talking about experiences where sometimes Black and trans and queer folk can feel like this sense of placelessness, right? Where we don't have a place to go, right? So I can give you the numbers, but I can tell you in very simple terms, what happens when you don't have familial support, right? And then what happens when you need to get work so that you can fund your life, but now there is discrimination based upon your gender identity, right? Well, maybe you wanted to jump back to family support or friend support, and maybe they can help you, but wait a minute, you don't have the familial support, right? So when we are talking about this confluence of anti-Blackness and heterosexism, we are talking about how do we as communities, as Kimberly Casey so beautifully said, the mantra in our movement work, how do we keep us safe? And at TKO, we do that through nurturing through non-traditional care. So we take a community-led approach, again, being Black, trans, and queer folk who are doing the work of Black, trans, and queer communities. So what do some of these services look like? This looks like HIV and STI prevention and care. So we have our FAITH team, which stands for Fast, Affirming, Innovative Testing and Healthcare, right? These are Black, trans, and queer folk who are getting the testing and services to Black, trans, and queer communities. That's gonna look like PrEP access, PEP access, right? With us having a 94% quarterly retention rate. Can we make some noise for that? Because if you're a nonprofit, you know that it's not always an easy thing to do. We also have amazing gender affirming care, right? So for folks needing to get HRT access, comprehensive transition support services, right? Because it isn't just about the medical transition part, right? It's also about the social transition and making sure that you have a community who understands those needs and who's able to show up in very important ways. The part I love the most, holistic support services, right? Because so many of these things are important, but as we say, people need to eat. Right? People need to be able to lay their head somewhere. And so being able to put those dollars back and making sure that people can have assistance in their utilities, making sure people have access to, again, keep a roof over their head, important things. And in addition to that, a lot of community building through peer support groups. So I'm now the community engagement director, but 3.5 years before that, I've been serving as the youth program coordinator. And this is where I can kind of take off the professional hat and be like, I'm just talking to y'all as a Black queer person that's sitting up here who knows the importance of representation, who knows how life-saving that can be, who was a young child, who knew my queerness at a very young age, but did not have the supports, did not know where to go. You know what I'm saying? Got your finger on the remote, on the back button, while you're kind of watching the TV shows that may have queer characters, and you're seeing yourself for the first time, but you got to turn it real fast, just in case mom walks into the room. So it is in connection to the amazing leadership at TKO before we were even professional colleagues that I got this dynamic opportunity to see representation in real life. That I got to see people who look like me, who love like me, who had the expertise and the lived experience that I did not have. So again, as y'all are making considerations, because again, I'm pretty, I know, but maybe that's how people donate. Hopefully something I have said has really made an impact, because again, we keep us safe, right? And there are so many Black, trans, and queer folk who deserve those opportunities, again, inside the context of this confluent anti-Blackness and heterosexism. And so together, we can make a phenomenal difference. So that was a whole lot to say. Now I'm going into a poem. Which I would say it does feel so good to be back up here. Yeah. So for people who don't know, again, Out Loud Huntsville has a special place in my heart. During my time in undergrad at the illustrious Alabama A&M University, if there's anybody who has any affiliation here, during my time I found Out Loud Huntsville, and again, during so many interesting times of life, Out Loud Huntsville really gave me so many important second wins. And in 2018, I was on the slam team with none other than D. Kimberly Casey.
What?
And this poem was actually one that I would run often, and it's called Intoxication. And it's all about how love can be a super intoxicating force. And as we talk about community, as we talk about advocacy, we talk about our interconnected liberation, I think what better moment than to talk about love and how intoxicating it can be. And hopefully it intoxicates y'all to put some money in that bucket. I don't know. So this is Intoxication. I know intoxication by many different aliases. A pair of eyes happy to see you after a long day, that replay your grin like some old school record vinyl, and smooth those eyes go to soothing with some artistic alchemy. A voice, familiar and full, that pulls you in, that reminds you of how good it is to see you again, and a laugh that is light enough to take wing and fly. At this point, intoxication nicknames itself home, convincing us we have one, convincing us we are one. Intoxication is an old southern smile, gold caps and all, if any teeth at all. It is the smell of grandma cooking salmon on a Saturday morning, the sound of grandma forgetting my name. At least then she was here. Even if dementia played tricks with her brain, it never played tricks with her love. She would still ask for me. Intoxication is sunlight breaking through mosaic church windows. It is healing. It is hypnotic. It is home. It reminds us that wherever there is transparency, there is room for light. Ain't love an intoxicating force? Leaves you feeling like salvation on a Sunday afternoon. Ain't love holy? Ain't love like the moment right before you fall asleep, dizzy and dynamic? Intoxication will break your shadow in half, only to rebuild it later, greeting you with a grin that whispers, "Don't you recognize me?" Thank you.
Thank you, Josh. It's so wonderful to hear you read all the time. And see you up here. You are very pretty, but y'all can tell you're real smart, huh? He's a PhD. That's Dr. Josh Baker over there. Very impressive. Give it up one more time for Josh Baker. The bucket will still be up here by the merch cart if you want to, give a couple more dollars. If you found a few in your pocket, that's fine. It's still available to you. We appreciate you, and we're going to match every dollar in that bucket tonight, up to $300. Very excited about that. Please welcome up your next reader, Charlie Hicks.
Yeah, I always have to adjust the mic, so I always get to look cool. All right. So I recently, last month, I missed Out Loud because I was in northern Minnesota on a trip to a place called the Boundary Waters, and these next two poems are about that area and that time there. So this first one is called Pegakavik. As we step into the canoe, the water is cold, waves sweep the brow as we pass by the Palisades. We weave around small islands, earning each stroke at a steady pace. We make our way down the lake, landing on a small cove where we break for lunch, sitting amongst flowing grass, and having made our destination, we start our trip back to camp.
The sun is at our backs now, and the water is gentle, and I look up at sheets of green, threads from pine, birch, and spruce, hemmed with shadows. Light scatters across the canopy, a subtle beauty and definition, a memory of a forgotten name, familiar to some corner of the mind. This place makes you remember. You were lost here in this moment you found. Breathe and recall the unnamed shelter on Kekakavik. This next one is called The Singing Wilderness. Folsom spoke of it first, though not the first listener. A sound you hear only when you know how to listen. On a cool night, I hear it. The crackling fire opens a stage, and the nightjar begins to whistle a tune. The grouse drums his steady beat. In the loon wails a lonesome sound, the solo fisher on the lake. Singing to the open air, the snowshoe hares dance in circles. This is the singing wilderness. This is my favorite song. I start to close my eyes as I drift off to sleep. I will find myself in the reverb. When I have traveled away, I will wear this memory out, and as the song begins to fade, I'll return once again to this wilderness.
Less cool when I just but that's on purpose. It's a bit. I would take cooler, but thank you. Reverse heckling. I'll teach you all about it. So this is going to be a cool transition. Charlie, great poems about nature. Nature is poetry, and you know what also is poetry? Music. And I have a music recommendation for you. A little break from our open mic to give you a recommendation to listen to Lana White and the Heights, a lovely local band right here in Huntsville that's gaining some traction that you can stream on all of your streaming services. And I hear their incredible drummer is right here in the audience tonight. Give it up for Carly Daniel, please. For coming and supporting us this evening. If you hear of any Lana White and the Heights shows coming up, now you know you gotta go. They are wonderful, they're fantastic, and I really encourage you to go support local music just as you come out and support local literary arts. Please welcome up your next reader, Kimberly Remus.
Well, the random thoughts have eluded me, so you get the B-side, things I've written years ago that I forgot about, never performed. Ease of loving you. There is something to be said about the ease at which I love you. Years on years of life without you, one simple glimpse of you, time literally stands still for me. Spend my days lost in daydreams of you, reminiscing of days holding hands and seeing the sights with you. Even when you're not there, still seeing you. 46 and find myself standing in line like a teenager with you. My body pulling into yours, couldn't resist the magnetic pull of you, even if I wanted to. In the physical, I can't hear you, can't see you, can't touch you, can't walk this season with you. But in my spirit, like the air I need to breathe, I know that you are there. Now I lay me down to sleep. I pray the Lord your love for me to keep. Though the silence, through the silence, it's your voice I yearn to hear, your touch I yearn to feel. To gaze into your eyes is a vision that I seek. Like Dory, my heart is somewhere in the middle of the ocean, lost. Thousands of nautical miles can't disrupt the calms. From your heartbeat to my spirit, I hear you. I feel you as you toss and turn in your restlessness. Yes, there is something to be said about the ease at which I love you. One more quick thing. It's called Memories. Y'all don't judge me with my singing. Memories, like the corners of my mind, There was a time when I desired to be remembered. I believed being unforgettable was somehow of intrinsic value. But today, I can't seem to find the value in being someone else's memory. Scattered pictures of the smiles we left behind, smiles we gave to one another, of the way we were. Perhaps he smiles from time to time at the thought of me, but he's moved on now without me. Just left me here empty, the prototype that never went into production, and now he's in love again. So his smile is now the sun that shines high in the sky of someone else's day. The moment of me passes. Once again, repeat. The moment passes and once again, memories of me get neatly tucked away. Way back in the corners of his mind in a box with a pile of his life on top of it. Memories may be beautiful and yet was too painful to remember. We simply choose to forget. There was a time when I desired to be remembered. I believed being unforgettable was somehow of intrinsic value. But today, I question the value of being someone else's memory. Thank you.
She's got poems, she's got singing, she's amazing. Thank you for coming. Please welcome your next reader, Alan Burkett.
Hi everyone.
Hi.
First time here, I'm having a blast. I joined a few months ago, still waiting on my shirt.
We can get that tonight.
Okay, I'm gonna try to squeeze two in here. Those who never bow. We knew them by the way they stood, chin raised, not in defiance, but in a posture that asked no pardon for taking up space. Old Miss Leela, who wore rhinestones to the farmer's market and cussed like her teeth were made of brass, once told me she'd rather go hungry than say sorry for seasoning too bold. Or James, who walked to church in lavender suits, shoes like polished moons, his voice a velvet verdict against shame's tired script. They never flinched when the world shifted its weight to make them stumble. They just kept cooking, singing, loving too loud, painting their truths on brick walls and bare arms and the backs of our napkins. We watched them through cracks in our carefulness, awed by the ease with which they carried their marvelous selves, unwrapped, unfiltered, unafraid. And though the world never handed them the right words, they made a language of their own, spoken in bold strokes, and taught us how to listen. The kind of drag queen I might be. Not the kind who swans in with cheekbones carved by lasers and a wind machine hidden in her purse. No, ma'am. I'd be the drag queen who shows up late because she couldn't find her car keys under the pile of feather boas and unopened mail. The kind who does a slow jam to Barry White while eating a popsicle. Great, thank you. I'm sorry. My name? Misdiagnosis, maybe? Or Tina Turnip, or Donna Kebab. Something ridiculous that makes the MC pause before announcing me, like, wait, is that a pun? And instead of dramatic reveal, I take off one sock slowly to a kazoo version of Ave Maria, while staring directly into the eyes of a man who once ghosted me on Boom. My lashes would be crooked, my contouring would be an interpretive nod to topographical maps, I wear orthopedic heels covered in glitter Mod Podge because these arches have suffered enough from the hanging of railroad. Oh, I have a sidekick chihuahua named Beyonce III, wearing matching eyeliner and a tiny cape that says, "Yeah, bitch, yeah." She rides in a sequin fanny pack that doubles as a snack dispenser for audience members who look a little peckish. No death drops for me, darling. Unless you count the time I tried to vogue in the kitchen and knocked over a jar of pickles. I'm still served on a tray labeled antipasto rotis. But let it be known, I be the queen who brings everyone a gift, even if it's just a sticker that says, "You are enough," in Comic Sans. Because deep down, beneath the fake lashes and $4 wig that smells like a miniature of dry shampoo, I believe drag is just another word for becoming your own superhero, with better lighting and a playlist that always starts with Shaka Khan.
We have shirt. Would you like shirt? We have shirt. We have more. Here, we'll get you your shirt tonight. And if you become a member tonight, we might have your size, so you can possibly get your shirt if you sign up to be a member tonight. It's a very exciting, possibility. Maybe, or maybe we'll get it a different time. Who's to say? Only one way to find out. Sign up tonight. Become a member. Please welcome up your next reader, Jim Parker.
Hey, everybody. First, I want to honor all of you. Your poems are incredible. Your passion is unbelievable. And this is my first book of poetry. It's called A Man Like Me.
Yeah.
And it's illustrated by Don Howard.
Very
So, this poem I'm dedicating to you. I've given in to my blind ambition, caught in a mission of making myself. I may discover the long road and distance is more than a person can give of himself. My journey through life has been most amazing. I sail through new phases with every attempt. I'm not exempt from the pain or the suffering. I face it head on with goodwill and contempt. A man like me is not just a dreamer. I'm a thinker of thoughts whose vision is clear. A man like me is born for a purpose. I give back the stories of life that I hear. A man like me is made of laughter and tears. I may not be wealthy, but I'm not a pauper. There's hope in my coffers and I'm moving on. Somewhere along this road of resistance, rhyme will find reason to write one more song. Down to the dust in my pockets. There's a hole in my soul the size of a dime. The seam of my blue jeans need mending, and I ain't got no woman to call mine. My body's losing weight faster than I can win it, and I taught myself a terrible case of the clap. And the dime I was saving to call the physician rolled between my fingers, off my hand, down the sidewalk, over 3 big cracks, by the cop, past the man with the hat, then down in the ditch where all those people were at. I needed the dime too much to forget it, so I moved to the curb where they stood and ho-hummed around for just a few seconds, trying to pick it up as calmly as I could. But the man in the hat, as I bent to reach down for it, bumped me from behind and pushed me into the street. The cars kept coming quickly, suddenly slamming on their brakes, and I just stood there praying real hard that those newfangled disc brakes would work. Horns honking, people screaming. The cop pulls me off to the side. "Look here, son, you must be stoned running out in the traffic like that. But I can't prove it, so I'll just give you a ticket." You know, jaywalking in your state of mind is mad. Just for a dime, I should have turned and walked away. But as they say in the slums of Sunnyvale, a dime is a dime is a dime. Well, after he wrote me my ticket, friends, and I still had that dime on my mind, and I was feeling mighty low, you know, and I needed a doctor quick by this time, but now I wasn't so sure what kind of doc was needed. I thought one for my head, but right now, oh Lord, I need one for my penis. Back to the curb, I could see it still shining. So I started to go for it again, and just as I looked up, I saw it coming. A big, yellow street eater with his whiskers and a stem. Yep, you can guess it, without any help. So I just grinned and walked away, thinking to myself as my eyes searched the curb, what a funny little story to tell. Well, thank you.
Thank you, Jim. Come see us next month on the third Sunday where we'll be doing a fundraiser for Dimes for Jim's penis. You can grab a copy of that wonderful book for $25. If you like what you heard, please stop by and talk to Jim. We love seeing our local poets and writers succeed, and getting published and having a book is a huge deal. So thank you for sharing with us, Jim. And if you like that work, go check it out. Go up and talk to him after the show. Please welcome up your next reader, Troy Bacon.
Hi, everybody. If you don't know me, I'm Troy Bacon. For context for this poem, I am a trans guy who used to work at Goodwill in university. And while I was there, unrelated to Goodwill, I was having some serious suicidal thoughts. Trigger warning. And there was this special assistant manager who was just my rock. He even sent me to the hospital one night when I thought I was going to take my life. He was so great, had a little bit of a crush on him. And he, so I had to quit March because of mental health reasons, and I said this long drawn goodbye to him. He's like, "You'll visit, right?" I'm like, "Yeah." Never got around to it, and then this month I started getting flashbacks that I was dissociating during that time there. I didn't know what was going on, but he was grooming me. Yeah. So this is about that, and I haven't gone back to Goodwill, but I almost texted him yesterday, and so I didn't. But this is the poem about it. It's called Unhinged. Okay, I was feeling unhinged today because my feelings for you still get in the way. Yesterday I said I'd rather die or kill than go visit you at Goodwill. But I didn't promise I would text you, still hoping I could vex you. I miss you when I'm in this state. I pray it's not too late to start a conversation, pick up where we left off. But what would we even talk about? How at work you would get off? The pictures of me dressed as all thin, cleavage on full display. Yet, if I did reach out to you, I don't know what I'd say. Jacob, I still feel for you, but not in the same way. You saved me from suicide, so I thought you cared. But I'm no longer in denial. Post-flashbacks, vivid attacks, they come in every day. Don't know why I still wanted you to stay. Don't know why I still need you to feel the same way. My married ex-assistant manager, it isn't a good look. I gave. You took. Thought I was in love with you. Thought you didn't know. Thought I could conceal my feelings. Thought they didn't show. I swear I didn't know of our mutual attraction, oblivious to what was going on. My brain played me. I bought the con. But now I see it clearly, no longer dissociated. And now that we are no longer associated, I can't believe the lies that I created. That you cared too much to ever prey on me. There's so much that I couldn't see. One conversation you caught my eye. Wasn't long before I became your narcissistic supply. I still miss you, but I don't know why. I still wish I hadn't said goodbye. Conflicting feelings. First excitement, then guilt, then shame. I feel I only have myself to blame. In memories, I hear you say my name, thinking I was aware. Now I sit back reminiscing, wishing I could make you care. Yearning for someone who didn't need me there. Yeah, Jacob, I still miss you, God, it isn't fair.
Writing poems is always better than texting the person that you shouldn't be texting. And if you ever need a very supportive community that will tell you not to text the wrong people back, you got a whole room full of them right here. So, strong place to share. Please welcome up your next reader, Serena.
digression. So the beginning's going to be a little bit more relentlessly serious than it was intended to be, but bear with me, it's going somewhere. It'll be like, I don't want to talk about feelings. I want to talk about the things that are so deep inside feelings that they resemble the experience of having an emotion as little as electrons resemble dolphins or hurricanes. Feelings are not and cannot be made of nothing. If they are made, they can be seen. So visualize. A dopamine molecule consists of a catechol structure with one amino group attached via an ethanol chain. In other words, there's hydrogen and oxygen and nitrogen and carbon involved. The same four atoms that make up most of us and most of everything that we can touch, almost everything that makes sense to us. In this configuration, these atoms are a chair. In that configuration, they're the reason that I'm lying on the floor, unable to get up, unable to remember how to want to live. A noradrenaline model is itself imbalanced, with jagged little bits jutting out asymmetrically from the central benzene structure. It's hard not to conclude that it's poorly designed because it's aesthetically alienating as well as unpleasant to experience. The same molecular formula, C8H11NO3, can make a few other things, depending on the exact bonds involved. Ammonium mandylate, a urinary antiseptic, oxydopamine, which is used for the ethically questionable purpose of inducing Parkinson's in lab animals, and peroxidine, a member of the B family of vitamins. In other words, this combination of atoms is statistically likely to suck for someone. But not every option is terrible. So even if I can't make this pain pretty, why can't I arrange it into B6 and pretend that it's saving me after I ingested some poisonous mushrooms? What were these atoms doing before they were conscripted into unwanted emotion molecules? Were they already a part of me, my atoms? Or were they occupied being other emotions, or just on call, waiting just to make agony? Were they being water and air and plant food, and my grief is a slaver that dragged them away from peace to serve in chains? I don't define love, or even wish that I could define it, as the experience of an optimal release of dopamine and reuptake of serotonin when somebody special holds my hand. I don't condemn Nazis because those bastards get my norepinephrine out of whack. The reasons for emotions are separate from and are supposed to precede the chemical reactions that make a product that feels like anything. There is a reason that I grieve, and that reason is mine. A bed is not my bed unless I bring it home and sleep in it. So if these atoms are mine, and this grief is mine, why does their transmutation rend me from myself? I am intellectual, and I am curious. I find body in cells under a microscope. And it's nice to think that no matter what, there's beauty somewhere in me. Feelings unsettle me and I distrust them. But perhaps, if I can see them as elegant constructs, then I'll find a new way to live with them. Inside them, or with them inside me. I would be honored to have falling water in my mind. The architecture designed by a master in harmony with nature, the ever-flowing river, a monument to the love inside the grief, a home that is both wild and sheltering. I am both an animal and an artist, and the same atoms are all of it. I like poetry because it's the process of seeing the structure of myself and finding beauty in it. I seek the convergence of art and science because I believe that there is beauty there. I'm searching for a new language because grief has deprived me of the one I knew.
Also, I'm glad someone remembered to bring a sign tonight. Also, side note, if anyone wants to join my new band called Unwanted Emotion Molecules, tryouts are tomorrow. Please welcome up your next reader, Brian.
All right. So speaking of unprecedented times becoming precedented, unfortunately, it's a perfect segue to this poem. I wrote it during Poetry Month in a form of a modified villa now. I think I said that right. It's called Winner Take All. When does a cult become culture? How do you stop a train with no brakes? Wax wings won't fly you to closure. Canyons curve like a living sculpture where time guides rivers as hands will snake. When does a cult become culture? Doubt circles my mind like a vulture zeroed in on the coyote's take. Wax wings won't fly you to closure. Horizons chased by blurred ghosts of a false future, formed from fraudulent framers by mistake. When does a cult become culture? Half-sown seams form a fragile suture, while fear pulses through veins where hope dare not wait. Wax wings won't fly you to closure. Who can resist the widening brochure? If every promise crumbles, truth collapses under its own weight. When does a cult become culture? How do you stop a train with no brakes? Thank you. The second one is for any Chomsky fans out there. It's called Manufacturing the Rent. The sins of our fathers fall from heaven. Crazy diamonds crash and collide across the black crushed velvet, no procession, death in all directions. Casually watching casualties every nightly news at 7, all the stressing and depression compressing the peasants. It's so hard to be present when there's boots on your neck and the reckless abandon their man and start to aim its cannons back at your shire until we all kill for hire. The sins of our fathers fall from heaven. The mortar strikes left a molten bike and a small crushed helmet. The school down the block is now a pot sink of space, all because these rich pricks won't pay a fair wage. They stuff their gullets with our futures and service apathy for breakfast. A light lunch of moms being bombed after ads that fix erections, babies trapped under the wreckage between the thresher and the pavement, but your check is still pending and you missed your last payment. You can't afford to give a fuck. But it's cheaper than giving in, and I'll be damned if I don't fight that to the big payback in the bitter end. Thank you.
Reader, but I hear if you come back next month on the third Sunday, you will get to see him be a first-time host. Right? It's going to be very exciting. It's amazing. Please come on back and support him in his hosting journey. And if you've been counting down, you only have to see me 3 more times. Please welcome up your next reader, Maya.
Okay, these are 2 new ones. One of them I read last night, so Kimberly's heard it. Yeah. But, yeah. Ooh. She brings insects to me. Her cupped hands damp with dew from their careful combing of grass, of the madder and the suckling clover, the wood sorrel and speedwell combing in search of living, wiggling things. Pincer bug, she says. Its feet move swiftly over her hands. She crosses them many times, makes him climb the mountain ranges of her knuckles and descend into the deep valleys of palm lines. I do not know where she learned the earwig's other name, a simple description of the 2 fang-like fingers on its back end. Did it whisper to her as its many-jointed body crept up the segmented line of her finger,
or was it breathed from the grass as she knelt, rising up with the dew turned to steam by the sun? Maybe the wind brushed it by her ears, the air curling, echoing eddies in the concha and the fossa and the incisora. Perhaps it sprung fully formed from her tongue, born as wisdom was, knowledge simply given to those who seek. And this is another new one, which I haven't read anywhere, so that's exciting. In my hands, a little cluster of green-white orbs, their black dotted bodies blushing with the first hint of ripeness. For now they are hard, drinking up the water of the damp earth beneath them, thick with all the rotting bodies of their brethren born in former seasons, soaking in the sun above that lays her hands on the wide green palms of their leaves. A few are barely bigger than the nail of a newborn, solid yellow bits at the center of the snow-colored flower. I tell the children whose hands are always grasping for the glory of little beautiful things, wait now, the flowers turn to sweetness. And each morning I must find the cluster so we may mark its progress. I do not know if these will ever ripen. It is late in the season. Stomachs have already filled with fruit, red to the very center, and these may burn before they burst, fall into the dark mat of old leaves and needles and half-eaten bodies. They're rot, feeding those children that will come next April. Thank you.
Poem again, there will be a streaming video of the River Signal Radio broadcast that we did last night. Mine was incredible. That was the dopest shit I've ever done. That was so cool to be there, so please check it out. We'll post it to our socials. If you don't know what I'm talking about, go to our socials and you'll find out what it is. Please welcome up Lucas Samuel.
This is 89 seconds. While the coyote sleeps, history is being written. So sit down and listen. I'm talking to the armored and sealskin suits, wearers of uncreased cowboy boots, the soft-handed, smooth-knuckled claims deniers, and convenient public liars. The "are you sure"ers, responsible to no jurors, the mafia men who kill with a loaded pen. Those whose hands are an oily black as they scratch each other's backs. Those who let the mother they stole burn, because to them the future is no concern. Those who don't care what comes to an end, as long as there's still fool's gold left to spend. Those who pretend to look for systemic cracks, while they ignore neighbors living in open-air shacks. You who bow to the remarks of oligarchs and sell your rights to digital monarchs. You who crown a clown your king and wear his makeup as you kiss the ring. You who know everything about us, but would never ride the same bus. You who fear the sin of empathy as you kneel for patriotic sympathy. Coward and embarrassment are what we call you, as we know you were just a boisterous few. But who are we? Don't confuse this as coming just from me. From the dirty hands that built your kingdom in return for our duly promised freedom. From the broken backs and broken spirits that weren't aware a future came with limits. From the beaten ankles and leathered soles in search of roads without tolls. From the stone hearts that still manage to burn for love and great things beyond your petty concern. For those whose shoulders are sunburned and tired so that they may rest and watch their work admired. For those whose great crime was being born poor and should never know the sound of another locked door. For those in rusted chains, shivering in huddled masses, longing for open pastures of greener grasses. For those choked, poisoned, and yearning to breathe free, begging for a so-called leader to hear their humanitarian plea. On behalf of those you refuse to understand and have never bothered to meet firsthand. On behalf of all the tongues and throats that you've stolen to feed a system that's already broken. On behalf of the deepest cuts you've made as you leave starving children gasping for aid. On behalf of the God you so falsely claim who will lay at your feet all of the blame. We are the salt and the dirt of the earth, and we know how much blood liberty is worth. What you've given us is anything but, as you hope we keep our eyes and mouths shut. But we don't want your ego war on a sandy foreign or sunny domestic shore. So we stand in the way of rubber bullets as common sense zealots, and we scream and cry that this nation we love will not be the reason people die, because we know how freedom tastes against our lips and its texture against our fingertips. How far will the rules have to bend to be broken? And how cold does it have to be for you to realize hell's frozen? How much do we have to lose before the rich man can't afford new shoes? How many of us have to yell no until you realize the American experiment isn't a reality TV show? How will we get it through to you that being made equal isn't some radical view? What brought you to this point that humanity is just a spreadsheet's data point? What made you so disadvantaged that you think communities outside yours should be ravaged? What moral high ground do you hold that says black and brown people shouldn't grow old? What does an American have to look like to you for their patriotic spirit to be true? Democracy as you know it is on fire, and blue collars call blue voters liars, and white collars laugh to themselves over our internal strife as they play Monopoly with our life. You owe us an answer for why you would introduce this world to this cancer, and one day you will be forced to reckon with our anger. Thank you.
Tonight, and I changed right before I left. So glad I did. That would have been so embarrassing. Please welcome your last reader, Grace.
Hello. Trigger warning for suicide ideation and imagery of self-harm. But also, like, I was having a hard time choosing what to read, which I know is that's not just me, that happens when you have a lot of amazing stuff, which everyone who reads here always has amazing stuff. But I'm getting sidetracked. I don't know how to segue. I'm like Kimberly. She's so good at segue.
That's a good transition to talk about me.
Has anyone here ever had the thought while you're driving, this will make sense in a minute, but have you ever had the thought while you're driving your car that maybe you've like had an accident?
Yes.
And everything you're experiencing is just a simulation that your subconscious has created to stop you from panicking? Surely my brain is not the only one performing this particular magic trick. And you must be wondering, why does that woman seem so depressed? What other secrets is she holding so close to her chest? I'll tell you what, I did not expect the sight of blood to rattle me so much. Solitary penny in a jar. Brassy, cold copper, and someone else's wrist cupped in my hands like I am cotton, like I am something made to soak up sadness. I am driving to a hospital. I am walking through a cemetery. I am floating in tepid water, bloom of red like a wasted flower, and my mind wasted on that image. No matter where I go, she follows. No soundproof panels keep the wailing out. No glass, no cage, no air, just rage. The cost of loss is something that cannot be calculated, something that winds itself around the mind until everything inside is a twisted cobweb. Silk dress unwound and rewrapped into a sticky trap. I want to save myself from everyone else, and you too. Search the map, find a path, don't forget the road trip snacks, and spend the whole drive wondering, is any of this real? Thank you.
Yeah.
give, you can give. If you want to become a member, you can do so up here. If you have become a member and you need a shirt, you can do that up here. We have at least one. Thank you again so much for coming out tonight. We are out here on the third Sundays of every month. We are always free, open to the public. Please join us again next time. Thank you, love you, bye.